What do we start with?
Intro.
We've got a spiel.
Not really. It's kind of really loose. Yeah, maybe this is just spiel.
Is this our spiel?
This is just spiel. Hello and welcome to the second episode of the EV Guys. And what an episode! It's a little bit exciting, this one, isn't it?
I'm still kind of on a high.
Yeah, we've just recorded with some amazing guests. You can take a wild guess who they are from what's behind us here. We're at Everything Electric in Sydney. But what a great experience. What a great interview. What a great couple of guys. If you just want to go for the famous guys, probably skip forward a little bit through the episode. You'll find it. But try not to. Try listen to us.
Yeah, tolerate us.
Yeah, we're gonna run through some things fairly quickly today, the usual stuff that we'd talk about, and then we'll get on to that. And then I think we might go and have a bit of a walk around here at the show.
Definitely.
For a little bit of a bonus episode. We won't do it in this episode, but a little bit of a bonus episode that we'll put out a little bit to follow. But yeah, now first, I just want to touch on, we've had some great feedback to the first episode. Love it. But apparently we have beef.
Apparently, according to the prestigious medical journal known as Facebook, Richard and I have beef. And yeah, he was actually going to buy some jerky so we could finally have beef. Yeah, apparently we don't get along.
Yeah.
According to someone on the internet. It's news to me.
You had beef in the lounge on the way over.
Did I? No, there was no beef in that.
Was there no beef left?
It was beefless beef. It was just disappointment in a bowl.
That is annoying. Yes, yeah, we land in that horrible time in the lounge when there's the lunch is gone and the dinner's not yet arrived. Yeah. It's the first world problems. Anyway, so yeah, look, we're here at the show. We've been over here since yesterday. Big day today. You've already been on stage. How did that go?
Terrifying, man. That was terrifying. Well, I tried to lighten the mood with some inappropriate humour. Am I allowed to say it?
Go on.
Well, I tried to explain that there is a demand for a bare bones electric car that just does what it says on the tin, like a glory hole in a glass wall. What you see is what you get. And I couldn't tell, and I couldn't see because of the bright lights. I couldn't tell if that joke bombed. But then I told it to Robert Llewellyn, and he laughed. So I don't know. I don't know if that joke worked.
I kind of feel that wouldn't pass the censors at your office.
Probably not.
No,
I did actually try that once on the LDV E-Deliver 3. It didn't work. The boss loved it.
Yes.
They said, I think it's hilarious, but we can't put that on.
Look, so we are at the other show. What's your highlight of the show so far? What have you seen?
Okay, this is weird, but right down the back, there is a Genesis electric car based off the i5. What's the model number? Do you remember the white one?
Off the Ioniq 5. It's a GV60.
I know. And this is anyone that sees this car is gonna go, oh wow, let me Google it. Yeah. What, that impressed him? Yes, because it's everything I want in an interior. It's got that cream off-white. It's like grandma's sitting room. It's like sitting on granddad's lap, and he slips a Swerves original into your mouth.
Did you see the transmission shifter as a crystal ball?
Yes. I want that. Because who doesn't want crystal balls?
And matte white paint. I would not want to be looking after that for too long.
No, I know. It's already, they're going over it with a little brush to try and get all the smudges off it.
Ooh.
It's a show car. But to look at it, I'd love it. To own it, it would drive him mad. Imagine parking that in a car park.
Yes.
No.
Yeah. There is, I understand, one or two of them in New Zealand for testing, but I'm just not sure that the Genesis brand would have enough volume in New Zealand these days to kind of...
I asked the rep.
Yeah?
He said, no, there's nothing happening in New Zealand.
No. Yeah, I think Hyundai want to focus on selling what they've got. We've sometimes got to accept the fact that we are a small market. I know some people say, well, it's just these people keeping all these wonderful models from us. Well, no, people are going to make money when they bring these into the country.
You buy enough of them, they'll go through all the compliance and stuff.
Yeah, exactly. So I think that's the reason why. I think similar thing with the Renault Megane E-Tech. Did you have a look at that?
The new one that's just unveiled.
Yeah.
Not a bad looking car.
Yes.
Not a bad looking car.
Same. It's the same company as Hyundai and Genesis actually in New Zealand. I understand they've got one there, but it's kind of on hold. Could they move any without the clean car discount? Do they again just want to focus on selling Ioniq 5s and Kona EVs and that kind of thing? It's I guess a tricky decision for some of these companies to make. I mean, I've got a couple of highlights. I think I had a look at the Ioniq 5N. That just looks
I'm going to drive that in a few
wicked.
minutes.
Can I come and watch?
Yeah, you can come along. If we can squeeze you in. Not that you're a big guy. I mean,
No.
we can stop. I'm going to have to soap you down. No, I don't. There's a mental image you don't need. Me soaping down Richard. But no, let's see this out. He won't. I know.
Never.
But no, if we can squeeze you into the paperwork and all that, I think I've got to fill out a form to take a passenger. But yeah, I asked the guy if I can put my foot down a little bit, and he said, if I ride with you, you'll be okay. So I've requested that guy.
Now, so the other stuff I like was the BMW iX2. Now, you weren't a big fan. I think that car looks really cool. I know it's kind of just like a sporty coupey kind of BMW iX1, but I really like that. And I really like, and I know I'm a bit of a weirdo, the LDV E-Deliver 7.
Okay, no, I'm with you there, because
Yeah.
I saw it for the first time this morning.
Yes.
And when you said LDV E-Deliver 7, I imagine the E-Deliver 3, but bigger.
Yeah.
Now, this is, imagine a good looking, like the Hyundai iLoad,
Yep.
but with the size of a Hi-Ace. This is the perfect tradie vehicle. This is the perfect electrician vehicle, perfect plumber vehicle.
It's kind of somewhere it's if if a Hi-Ace and a Volkswagen Transporter went on a date, that's kind of it.
Their offspring, yeah.
Yeah. But the annoying thing is I've been speaking with the local importers Interscape, and at this point, to quote, they have no current plans for bringing in the E-Deliver 7. And I'm like, say what now? Because that car, or that van, would, I think, do so well.
I think, yeah.
Especially considering there is such a wait list for Hi-Aces. You've got some other vans in the market, whether they're really big or not, or they're not very big at all. And this thing is the perfect size, I think, for New Zealand. 300 plus Ks range, an LFP battery. We all love LFP batteries. 3-seat cabin, all that kind of stuff. So, yeah,
It's
I don't know.
perfect solution.
Yeah.
But why won't we see it?
Yeah.
There's someone. Nah. I'd love to be a fly on the wall in that office when they make that
I
decision.
think we will. I think not
Probably.
yet. I wonder if they're working through stock from. There's a new distributor they've taken over from the old one. I wonder if they've got a lot of stock of the old vans they're going to move, or I don't know. We'll see.
No, that's got mass appeal, that thing.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So yes, we've got a few more things to look at. We've got the talks that are going on. There's really good stuff here. I do recommend that if you're in Australia and you're watching this maybe on Saturday morning, if I can get it done, and you got some time, come down here. If you're in New Zealand, they've already said it's going to be here in March next year. I'm going to be back. It is such a good event.
Yep.
Probably nice if there's a few more cars here, but I think overall really interesting. And
There's still room. There's still room for more cars there. More conversions.
There's
more
a
conversions.
PHEV down there.
Oh, yeah, we don't talk about that.
It's like Bruno. There's also a couple of Kiwis here. There's a few from the industry floating around, and also we've got stands from Hikatron, the company out of Hamilton that are working on. They've just announced their tap and go AC charging, and they've got those clever cables where you plug in and it works out it's your car and bills you based on your cable. And then you had a chat with Ed from Evanex.
Yes, yeah, no, good to see them there as well, because I've got an Evanex charger at home. It's a great charger. I can't say anything bad about it.
Yeah.
It just works. And it's solar diversion as well. If you put solar panels on there, middle of the day, suddenly, it's registering enough electricity being generated by solar. Let's divert it to the car instead. It's brilliant. And it's all such a slim device. Okay, yeah, you get the idea. I like my charger.
So what Gavin's saying is that these solar companies out there that want to throw him a few solar panels for his house.
Yeah, that's a good point. Dear brand, whichever you are, I love you.
Anyway, that'll happen. Right, so that's the show. As I said, we'll do another episode with a bit of a walk around from that. But before then, we're going to run through a little bit of news. I'm going to go and turn my computer over here to pull up the first story.
Oh, your computer's locked. There we go.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, I didn't get to go to the launch, so you tell me all about what did I miss?
So the Emoda E5. So Emoda is Chery, one of the bigger Chinese brands in China, but I think Chery as a name may have a few little issues in New Zealand from its past entry. And so they've gone with the Emoda and JQ names. They're going to have a lot of electric and plug-in product, particularly PHEVs, but they're starting off strongly with an EV, and that's the E5. So it's an electrified version of their C5 SUV. Funny that.
Okay.
Combustion 5 and the electric. I'm sure the C doesn't stand for combustion, but
okay.
For us it does. And the E5. So you're looking pretty much at a pretty close competitor to the MG ZS EV and the Atto 3, kind of halfway in between in pretty much every respect. So 5-seat, small SUV class. It has a 61 kilowatt hour LFP battery. I love LFP. 80 kilowatt DC charging. The charging port's in the front.
Okay.
3-phase 9.9 kilowatt AC.
Okay.
Which is a nice bonus.
That's interesting.
Yeah. It has a frunk.
Okay.
Everyone knows I applaud a brand.
Okay, so already it's got that above the BYD and the MG.
And here's this for something that you just do not see in the small EV market. It has a spare tyre.
No way.
Yeah. Now, the car that they've got here at the moment, the first test car, has a full-size spare tyre in it and still a flat load floor. But the production ones are going to have a space saver, which is better than nothing and definitely better than a tyre repair kit.
The only electric vehicle I've ever seen with a full-size spare tire is, well, it doesn't. I don't know if that counts because it's not a car. It's the Peugeot e-Partner. And
yeah,
got a Ford.
yep.
And then there's the e-tron down the end. There's some of the e-tron models have the collapsible tire
one.
but that's it.
Yeah.
That's it. So to have a full-size actual, is it full-size or just space saver?
So it's space saver.
Space
The
saver's
test
cool.
car's got a full size, but the production cars have a space saver.
Space saver's good. I like that. You know, seriously like that because I've run out. I've got a flat tire in a fancy press car, and I ended up having to put it on a trailer, a flatbed truck. And I don't think the company in question liked me for that.
Yeah, I don't think you're fine. I think you're
reckon?
fine. Yeah.
I've talked to me since.
I've had the same. We were up north in the Audi e-tron GT and went over the railway lines in Kawakawa.
I've been over the same ones.
Yep. Split a tyre.
Oh, didn't do that.
Yep. Immediately the tyre went down. And being a premium car and Audi being a premium brand, their solution was to tell us to grab a taxi on us, go to lunch. And basically they put a e-tron SUV on a truck in Auckland, drove the truck up to Kawakawa. They put the GT on there, and we got the e-tron to drive back down in.
They gave me, the company in question gave me the offer of a $200 taxi voucher to get back home. I was in Kaukopakapa, in the middle of nowhere, and I was too guilty. It's like, well, I put a stone in your tire. I'm going to take the bus. So I got the tow truck driver to drive me to the top end of the northern busway in Auckland, and then took a bus all the way home. It was a long night.
Yeah.
I should have just taken a taxi.
Yeah. My
middle class guilt.
But anyway, so that's that. You get a V2L adapter with the car for free. They're going to have, I think, 2 spec levels. I don't know what the actual differences will be. There is a smaller battery option, but they're not going with that at the moment. They're just going to do the big battery for now. So yeah, nice interior, a lot of leather, a couple of big, huge screens, climate control, air conditioning, all that kind of stuff. I had a few. It looks really premium. Probably some of the plastics are a bit hard and a bit flexible.
Okay.
But overall, a really nice look. The interior, hint of kind of Merc Range Rover to it, but Merc. It's AliExpress Merc Range Rover, I guess. but weirdly, if people know, the industry maybe might hold together better than Range Rover. But anyway, I didn't say that.
No, but we're all thinking.
Yes. And so pricing wise, sitting between they're suggesting it'll be sharp between an MG ZS EV and an Atto 3. So I'm guessing about 55, maybe.
And physically, it's about the same size.
Physically about the same size. I think it's a bigger boot than a Atto.
But a frunk.
And a frunk.
Apartment.
Just a little frunk.
Frunklet.
Yeah, a little frunk. Enough for your cables, enough for a couple of 6-packs.
Okay.
Yeah, but any frunk is better than no frunk.
Yeah. I'm intrigued.
Yeah.
See, I was invited to that launch, but I had to do other stuff.
Yeah. So that is arriving. The first cars or demo cars, maybe even some for sale, is arriving really soon, March. So we don't have to wait long for that car. So
okay. Yeah. I've got to book in a test drive.
Yeah. So you can go to my YouTube channel, and there's a walk around on that now. But I'm sure he'll have some hilarious video driving at some point in the very near future.
Oracle, you always get ahead of everyone. I take your crumbs when it comes to electric car reviews, so I'll take whatever he lives over. Just leave it unlocked at the end of the driveway.
Now, if we're going to talk about something that we did break first, and that is that Zeka is coming to New Zealand. There was a lot of buzz around this, and we'd heard some stuff about it going into Australia. But, everyone's going, well, how do you find out about this? And so I just thought, well, let's go to their website. The website, they have a media contact link. And so I went and emailed the media contact and said, is Zeka coming to New Zealand?
If you don't ask, you don't get.
And they said yes.
So I know nothing about Zeka.
Yeah.
What is it?
So Zeka is basically part of the Geely group, and it's the kind of teenage offspring of Volvo and Polestar. So, and literally their name is a pushing together somehow, I don't understand.
Is that where they come from?
Of Generation Z and Geek. So I think we are Zekas. Are we Gen Z? No, I'm more tail end Gen X.
I'm Gen X, I think.
Yeah, we're tail end Gen X. Yeah.
It's the ignored generation, which I'm fine with.
I'm not sure there's any Gen Z then that could potentially afford a Zeekr in New Zealand, even if it is cheaper than a Polestar.
Generation Z and Geek.
Anyway, so they've suggested all of their models are built for international standards, so they could essentially send everything to New Zealand, which means they have a small electric sports wagon, little station wagon.
Okay.
Sporty wagon. A small SUV, which is basically the same car as the Volvo EX30, which we were kind of pretty keen about last time.
Oh, the little one.
Yeah.
Oh, I like the sound of that.
Yeah. They've got a larger SUV on the way, and they have a people mover, the Zeka 009, which is also going to be the Volvo E something or other 90, the Volvo electric people mover.
So they're sharing a lot of platforms and stuff, are they?
No, it's the SEA platform. So it's the same platform that you got in the Polestars that are down the show floor here.
With the transmission tunnel?
Possibly. Possibly. Yeah. No, it'll be the second generation one, I think.
Okay.
We'll see. Will Zeekr have transmission tunnels? Stay tuned to his channel to find out.
God. What's next? Your screen's gone blank.
No, don't worry. It's fine. Yeah, this is how the potato is peeled, guys.
Yep.
So that's coming. We don't know when. I suspect late this year. I know they're fishing around for local partners. They've actually started advertising for staff in Australia. So if you really want a job in the industry, go and apply to work for Zeekr in Australia. It is not the disease. It's a bit of an unfortunate one. Yeah.
That is an unfortunate name, isn't it?
Yes.
Call it the encephalitis.
Yeah. So that's Zeekr on the way to New Zealand. You can check that on the website. So it's all out there in the place. Yeah. Now, you had to go buy a potato when you get here.
I did.
That makes you you're sort of a farmer, really. I'm getting somewhere here.
Just stay with us. Stay with us, caller.
Yeah. What do farmers need?
Nitrogen?
Utes.
Oh, right. Yeah. different town.
I went a long way to get there, didn't I? I went a long way to get there.
All right. Tell me, Richard, what is coming in the form of a ute?
Yes, so the BYD Ute. We talked about it last time, but there's even more stuff's been leaked in China. We've now seen a video of the interior. It looks really funky. I'll pop it up on the screen.
Okay, I haven't seen this.
So you've got a couple of big screens. You've got some like big chunky grab handles and switches, really spacious. The Ute itself looks a lot like a Ford Ranger.
I was just going to say, the minute you said grab handles, I'm thinking, well, this is kind of Fordish.
Yeah.
I'm thinking Ram grab on type handles.
Yes. So that's interesting. So it's a little while on that. That'll be coming soon. I mean, would you drive do you want an electric Ute? Do you live rurally?
I won't lie. When I drove it's not the best example. It's the ET60.
Yes.
I can't deny I liked this is going to sound shallow, but I liked the sort of the tough feel of driving a Ute. It feels good.
Yes.
It feels, I can't deny it. I love little cars, but it felt real good. Yeah. Enough about Utes, though. I want to hear more about the BMW wagon coming. What is it?
Yes. So I'm driving the BMW i5 at the moment.
Yeah.
We're into something. It's coming as a station wagon. So you're going to be able to get a hot German station wagon.
Oh my God.
All electric.
Is it? Oh, okay.
Yeah. Whole new ballgame.
I wonder how it compares to the Skoda Enyaq.
Well, it's going to be about twice the price.
Yeah, okay. Let's just ignore the price for a sec. Let's just imagine we've won Lotto.
Yeah. Look, I love a station wagon. Who doesn't love a station wagon? So to get kind of that i5, kind of that high performance-ish station wagon in electric form, to me is pretty cool.
Do you have any specs?
No. Well, it's going to be pretty much the same as what we're seeing now. So you're going to get all-wheel drive. You're going to get 370 odd kilowatts, a sub 4 second 0 to 100 time. Hopefully some optional two-layer roof racks, because you've got to have those on your station wagon.
Of course, yeah.
Or a roof box. It'll certainly scare some of those Audi wagons at the ski fields.
Let the electric wars commence.
Yes, exactly. Now, we've had a bit of a unfortunate spin-off from the Ruck thing. Have we heard this? Have you seen this story floating around? There's some people threatening to basically remove the plugs from their PHEVs.
Yeah. Now I know what you're talking about. Yep. Yeah. It's just saber rattling. It's people finding out that in some situations that they're going to be paying more or less, depending on their drivetrain or vehicle, than another form of transport. So I tell you what, I'm going to turn my plug-in hybrid, because it's going to cost me more. I'm going to turn it into a completely pure electric vehicle, pure combustion vehicle by removing the charging capability. And, well, first of all, that's not going to work logistically. It's not designed to do that. You're going to ruin the vehicle. You'd have to recertify it, wouldn't you?
Well, that's the other factor. I don't think you could. I think, maybe if you completely stripped away what it was and modified it and turned it to some home-built weird thing and spent thousands of dollars recomplying it through the LVVTA group, who are pretty smart to catch this kind of bullshit.
Yeah, so this is basically, I went off at a tangent at the start there. So this is basically people who have, say, Mitsubishi Outlanders that are tired and they only get 5 Ks per charge, for example.
Yep.
So and they're finding, well, now I'm paying road user charges, even though I'm only driving 5 Ks on electric. So so they want to try and remove the electric components from the vehicle. Which
Look, the thing I would say to people is just hold fire, just relax. You know, we're in this situation where we've got a bit of a bum deal at the moment in regards to Ruck on electric and PHEV versus the cost of, say, a hybrid or a petrol. But it's not going to last forever.
Exactly.
Ruck's going to go onto petrol at some point. The minister's pretty convinced he's going to do it. So, yeah, we kind of have to just hold fire until that happens. And I think we mentioned this last time. I'm speaking at a fleet conference soon, and the thing I'm going to say to them there is, look, don't panic. You know, as long as you use your EV correctly or your PHEV correctly, you're not going to be losing. It's only if it's being used badly or that's going to be a problem. Yeah. If you're using it the way you're supposed to, you're going to be fine. But this will not last for long. And if you go and panic and dump all your electrics and dump all your PHEVs now and go and swap into petrols because it might be cheaper for the moment, well, in a year's time or 2 years' time when Ruck comes on petrol cars, you're going to end up stuck in the absolute opposite direction. So,
I should guess if we have any Australians watching, Ruck is road user charges, road tax.
Oh, yes, road user. It's basically what Victoria tried to do, but way more expensive. It is fair. We're going to pay our fair share of road use.
$76 per 1,000 K.
Yes, yeah.
Same with the diesel.
Yeah, basically. And I think once they bring it on, it'll be a bit more weight adjusted. But we've just got to hold fire and don't panic. Everyone else is going to feel the pain eventually.
Yeah, we're all going to suffer together, you know.
Now, last thing off the thing, we'll cover it off quickly because it is a bit of a selfish one, and that's EVs and Beyond put out its EV of the Year awards.
Go on, entertain me.
So the small EV of the year, MG4, great car.
Good choice.
Medium EV of the year, BYD Seal.
Good choice.
Large EV of the year, Kia EV9. Premium EV of the year, BMW i7. Love that car. Commercial of the year, Ford E-Transit. Very good van, and Ford have got a lot of vans coming. And drum roll, please.
Bang, bing, bang. This sounds like me dropping cutlery.
Our EV of the year was the BYD Seal. It was very, very, very close.
Drum roll.
It was very, very close between the two. And the thing that kind of got it over the line for me was you go for kind of like the reasonable spec MG versus the kind of similarly spec base model Seal, and the gap's pretty small, and I'd still go the Seal. Don't know about you, I'd still go the Seal.
No, the Seal it's a luxurious vehicle. Other than the charging issues we both had,
yes,
I can't fault the car.
Yeah. And I believe they're getting those fixed. So what we're talking about is there have been some issues in a few cars where they are, I guess, rapid gating.
Rapid gating.
They're just not having a good time on their first charge after a very long drive. But my understanding is that basically there is a software fix imminent for what is, I gather, a very small percentage of the cars. And I'm going to hold BYD to that to make sure that they do actually get that sorted because, we don't need that kind of stuff floating around.
Nah,
but otherwise,
just come up with rapid charge.
No, that's an old thing. That's a Leaf term, isn't it? For hot leaf batteries.
Oh, that makes sense. No, that makes sense. Yeah.
Long hot leaf battery summer.
Long hot leaf battery summer. Oh, yeah. 2 more from them later.
What? Right. So look, that's the news. Now let's get on to what we have been driving.
EV9.
Ooh,
that was. I mean, you've driven, of course.
Yes,
I drive everything. 7 years before I do. But the EV9 was surreal. In fact, the Kia guy asked me what I thought. When I dropped it back off, and of course, they want to hear a good news story. It just so happens that there's not a lot of bad news about the EV9. Sure, it's a monster. It's a behemoth. But to take a 2.6 ton vehicle and make it reach 100 kilometers an hour in 6 seconds, like imagine the stresses on the drive shafts and the suspension. It's staggering. And then the fact that it can corner incredibly for its size. And of course, it's got 7 seats and a lot of room in it. It's got every gadget you can imagine. It's a remarkable vehicle.
And its energy use, I did a road trip and found the energy use only a little bit above 20 kilowatt hours per 100 kilometers.
Yeah, that's about what I got.
Yeah,
it's
nuts.
Pretty impressive.
I don't get how you've got some cars, small cars that are doing, 18, 19, and that thing can do 20.
Yeah.
It must have like a 200 kilowatt battery and they're just lying to us.
Well,
200 kilowatt hour.
Yeah. Well, no, is it just on, 99.4 or something, the kilowatt hours, the battery?
Yeah.
That thing? It's staggering. What's interesting, though, is because it's got so much mass, it's like if you're just cruising, you take the regen braking off, take your foot off the accelerator, it just keeps going to the point where you think, oh, cruise control's too long. No, I did that like 2 or 3 times. Cruise control, oh no, it's not. It's just got so much mass and it's so streamlined. Like even though those wheels are really square and chonky, and the Kia guy was telling me that, yeah, they've lost some efficiency because of those wheels. They've made it up in other areas, streamlining it, just so they can still keep those cool wheels. Because
I have a different take on those wheels. I think that for New Zealand family use, I think that top one has 21-inch wheels, 22?
Yes, 21-inch, I think, yeah.
I think, and then the lower specs have correspondingly lower wheels. I want the top spec with the mid-spec wheels.
Yeah, just get a little bit more range.
Just a little bit more comfort.
Oh, okay.
A little bit more comfort. Range, fine. It's got enough range, no issue at all. And it charges, I mean, I think I saw like 230 kilowatt charging on a ChargeNet unit.
Yeah. Gosh, I can't remember what I got. Yeah, it was. I didn't quite get to peak, but it charged quick for its size.
Yeah. So it's a great car, except for one small thing.
Go on.
You didn't pick up on this as well?
I probably did, but I'm still buzzing after.
What do you think I'm about to tell you?
It's not the cost, is it? Because it is
bloody driver awareness.
Oh God!
Butter.
Sorry, I'm thinking of something. Yeah, okay, absolutely right. It's
If you are not looking dead ahead constantly, the driver monitor, which you have to turn off every time you start the car.
Yep, and the speed limit as well.
Bleat at you.
The speed alert. When you change speed zone, you go from 50 to a 70 zone. Ding. There's also mystery dings that I still haven't quite identified yet. That you're driving along and the car will just go ding. You look at the dashboard. There's no message. If you can't ding at me, it's like an abusive relationship. You can't tell me I'm wrong without telling me what I've done wrong. It's sinister. And I said this in the review video coming up soon. But it's the one thing that would stop me buying the car.
Yeah, the driver awareness thing. And look, I'm hoping they fix this in software. I blame ANCAP, to be honest. It is so sensitive that you got to look straight ahead. If you glance at the stereo a few too many times, you look away.
Tells you.
I think it gives you like 3 chances, 3 alerts, and then it'll just stay on. To the point where I had to pull over on the side of the northern motorway, turn the car off, and turn it back on again.
Okay.
To get it to go.
They must have fixed that because I didn't have that problem.
Okay. I was early on the list, so maybe that's why. But yeah, look, I'm sure I have great faith in Kia. They're a great company. They'll get that sorted. But that is just
it's like arguing R2D2, eh?
So irritating. So irritating. Anything else in the driveway for you?
As of today, the MG4 XPower video has gone out. That was fun. That was stupid. It's a ridiculous car.
Awesome car.
It's a ridiculous car. It's so stupid, but I love it because it's so unnecessary. It's
totally necessary. Power and acceleration is a safety feature.
Okay, just placate him. Just assume he's right. But because I'm familiar with the MG4, we all are. We've all driven it. So to get in there, and visually the MG4 XPower looks exactly the same inside. Different pedals, whatever, slightly different upholstery, but it looks the same. But then to put your foot down to overtake and far out, it's thrown over the balcony. It's brutal.
It's a neat car.
Like the same 0 to 100 time as a Ferrari F40, but this thing costs 70 grand.
Yeah.
It's fantastic.
Interestingly, they've got here, and it's landed in New Zealand now, and I'm waiting to drive it soon, hopefully, is the long-range MG4.
Ah, yeah,
77 kilowatt model.
Yeah, okay. Yep.
So that's going to be interesting, because that car probably goes quite a long way.
I would say so, but is it too little too late, or too much too late? I don't know.
Yeah.
What's the competing car that's gonna compete with? Let's look at a Seal, for example.
Yeah, Seal, I guess. Yeah. Yes, rear-wheel drive Seal. Will that go?
What's the price? Do you know what the price is? I can't remember from MG's website.
Yeah, I can't. I think it's still a little bit cheaper than that mid-range big battery Seal.
Yeah.
Obviously, BYD isn't anything else the hatchback class that can reach that.
Thing is, if you had the money, if they're only a few grand apart, you'd go with a Seal, wouldn't you?
You would.
Unless you do need that hatchback style car.
You know who will probably go that long range? Fleets.
Yeah, I suppose.
Fleets are probably interested in that. Put a sales rep in it. They want a hatchback, something more practical. Mm-hmm. They don't really care that their staff may want a nice big luxurious sedan.
True.
Yeah. I'm interested in that rear-wheel drive CO2. I'm driving that to Christchurch in a couple of weeks' time.
Yeah.
I'm going to try and do. I've got a funny feeling I might do that trip with very little DC charging. We'll see.
I'd be keen to see.
We'll see.
I did the towing test with one. I'm going to tow my Allegro.
Oh.
I did the same thing with a standard test with the 3.
Yes.
I'm going to do the same with the longer range
Interesting. The softer suspension, the seal should make that a little bit nicer. And
Should do. Yeah, should do. I
Yeah.
won't have to do 77 k's an hour in the slow lane this time.
Yes. Now, what have I been driving? So I have had basically the same cars as last time. I finally handed back the BZ4X. I'm going to miss that car. I know. Screw the haters. I love that car.
No, I kind of, having driven the Solterra,
Yeah.
which is sort of the same car, I kind of see, last podcast we did, I was
Yep.
unconvinced. I hadn't driven the Solterra. Now I kind of get where you're coming from.
Yep. It's a neat car. It's not neat. It's nothing flashy. It's
Yeah.
nothing silly. Doesn't do anything over the top. It's probably best in class and nothing. But it's comfortable. Button for everything. Drives well enough.
It's okay. I want to hate it because it would be it'd be fun.
Yeah.
But it's all right.
Yeah.
I can't hate it.
Yeah. So if you really want to hate on it, that's fine. But maybe go and have a drive in one.
Yeah.
Probably you'll have to deal with a salesperson who doesn't know much about it because they're probably ramping that up. Sorry for saying that, Toyota. Not sorry. The Subaru, similar thing, I guess. Slightly lower spec, but slightly lower prices as well. I think the Toyota looks better, particularly in that motion red that we had our car in. That looks, I'll put that up now, that looks pretty darn slick. I'm going to miss the BZ4X as a day-to-day. It's been fantastic. I've just had the BMW i5 as well. We've got that at the moment. That's really nice, really aggressive full steering.
Yes, that was cool.
Range, probably not what I was hoping for, maybe.
But the four-wheel steering, come on.
Full steering, yeah, exactly.
Like, we pulled into the airport to come here, and you did as you're pulling into the car parking space, I thought, oh, he's taking that, into the entry gate. I thought, oh, he's taking that. Oh, hang on, no, it's four-wheel steering. Let's see what happens. Sure enough, that back gently pulls out. It was nice.
Yeah.
Four-wheel steering's cool.
So, and then coming here, we've got a Europe car, BMW i4 rental car.
Oh yeah, so tell
good.
us about what we were supposed to have.
A Kia EV6. And then we turned up and they're like, I'm sorry, sir, someone's damaged the EV6. Here's an Audi A6, thinking we would be impressed being handed the keys.
Yeah, he said it proudly. Here's
and I'm going,
6.
yeah, nah, bro. So we waited for an i4 to be put across.
Yeah,
the
it's like, you really want an electric car, don't you? It's like, well, yeah. It's like...
I still highly recommend renting electric vehicles because you don't have to fuel them before you drop them back.
Yes.
And wasn't that cool going in that tunnel last night?
Oh, if you've been to Sydney, and you'll know that there's from the airport all the way out here to Gudgemarja Wallamadingdang, whatever they call it.
Yeah. Sydney Olympic Park.
Sydney Olympic Park. There's like 15-minute, and I'm not making this up, 15 minutes of tunnels. Perfect, seamless tunnels.
4 lanes in each direction?
Yeah, it's like you're playing a computer game because you've got the contrast, the black roof, the nice white sides, the markings. It's so cool.
And
I would have thought a tunnel would be cool. I can't believe I've become old.
it was great. We cruised down there. I think you've got a clip we can probably put up.
Yeah.
I had Jamiroquai's Deeper Underground cranking. Great tune for a tunnel. That was pretty cool. I like the i4. It's a 35, which I think we get in New Zealand. So it's a little bit cheaper, a little bit lower down the
35 different.
What's rear wheel drive, I think, versus I think the 40 is all-wheel drive. Like, I don't hold me to that. I don't know everything. Much lies. Shut up. That's been good. Highly recommend renting a car. Europe Car is a great service. I probably should say that Europe Car does some advertising with us, they look after us well. In fact, if you go to I think europcar.co.nz/partners/EVs and Beyond, you can get a discount. I'll put the link somewhere down below. Not for promotion, just because everyone loves a discount.
Yeah, I mean, it was great.
Do you know what that car at the EVs and Beyond 10% off rate is for this trip? For 2 and a bit days?
What?
Do you know how much it costs for 2 days with that car on our special rate?
I'm scared to say a number because I don't want to sully your good reputation. $200 a day, $300 a day?
$140 for the whole trip.
Oh, okay. Oh, that is actually pretty good. That's very good.
Yeah, exactly. So it's considering it's a $70 Uber out here. That works.
That's pretty good.
And you get to drive an EV, flash EV.
And it's a nice EV as well.
Exactly.
It's really good.
Yeah.
So Rich has kind of sold me on valet parking because you get up to the airport. Because I just take the bus because I'm a tightwad. But we pull up to the airport with bugger all electricity left in the tank, and that works out to be. Actually, how much was it for the valet parking for 2-3 days?
Don't ask. It's expensive.
Okay,
but,
all right.
But if anyone was listening, you'd understand you may have heard the concept on social media lately of girl maths, right? So girl maths is and I'm sorry, it's a terrible sexist term, but I think girls invented it. It's, like, it's justifying spending more by there being a smart aspect to it. I think one of the ones I saw recently was, I just made $150 by doing returns on my online deliveries. Said, but you spent $300 on online deliveries yesterday. No, but I made $150.
Yeah.
So my justification, I use this a lot in electric vehicles, is sure, I could save some money by walking further for the parking at the airport, but by going to the Koru parking, they charge my car. Fast charging that car to full from nothing is probably going to cost me about $50-$60. So that means I'm justifying spending the extra on the parking.
Yeah.
Same with my accommodation. If I'm traveling, if there's a flash hotel with charging, a little bit more expensive, I could justify staying somewhere flasher because I'm getting the money back on the charging.
I like
it's
this.
EV maths.
I like this.
We need to own this term, EV maths.
EV maths.
Yeah. So, a little bit of luxury because you're saving money on the gas. Right. So that's that. Now, we have something so exciting now. You're going to see us shuffle some chairs. We're going to bring in our special guests, and that is Robert Llewellyn, the founder of Fully Charged and the Everything Electric show, and Elliot Richards, their China correspondent. This was fun, wasn't it?
Oh man, I'm not gonna sleep tonight. That was just so cool. They're such cool people though. They're not just putting on an act, they're such nice people. They really they love what they do here. And it's infectious, the enthusiasm.
Right, well let's like clap our hands and bring in the guests.
Maybe do a drum roll.
Right, quick pause in the video here before we go into this great interview. Just for a couple of notes. Now, we got word that we were going to be filming these guys very shortly before the interview happened, so it's a bit of a rough setup to film it, but the content's still great. I've kind of cut myself off and I'm sitting in a bit of a fisheye lens, so please don't think I look that way. But anyway, the content is exceptional. You'll love it, I promise you. Now, just a quick word from our sponsor, evfinance.co.nz. Obviously, if you're watching this, you're going to buy an EV at some stage. Now, when you do, you've got a couple of options how to pay for it. You can use cash. That's great. Love that. You can go to your bank, but they're getting harder to get finance for. So if you're not doing either of those things, then go check out evfinance.co.nz. EV Finance are great supporters of ours. They have put together an amazing panel of lenders where basically they'll take your information, work out what the best finance option is for you, and get you a really good rate and a fast approval and fast settlement. So you can be driving your new EV really quickly. It's really easy. Just go to the evfinance.co.nz website, fill out a form, and they'll go through it. They'll get in touch, and they will get you into your EV as quickly as they can. You can buy private, you can buy new, you can buy through any dealer you want. They are really great, really flexible, and they'll do the best they can for you. So go to evfinance.co.nz. Right, on to the interview. Right, so as we hinted before, we have a couple of really special guests today on the show. Yes, I'll look over there. We've got Robert Llewellyn and Elliot Richards from Fully Charged. Thank you so much for joining us on the EV, guys.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here. And no, good. Thank you. Thank you for inviting us.
Now, to steal a line from one of your characters, can you believe this?
It is difficult to take it in what's happening here, and today is just a classic example of my stupid. When am I going to learn? I was so anxious this morning that there was going to be 18 people coming, and then we saw the queue. It went right round the building. I've got to remind myself that it's all right. The people do come. It's been an amazing day. Incredible turnout.
Is the energy positive or fear? Or what are you feeling when the doors open?
I certainly think so.
Massively positive.
Yeah.
I think the Australian show has shown that everyone here is so keen for this transition.
Yeah.
And you just feel the energy radiating from the crowd. They're so enthusiastic. Yeah.
I felt that too.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, when you started the channel back in 2010, was this kind of your end game? I mean, what was...
The end game was to not ring too many young people. Go, how do I make the YouTube thing go up on the thing? It was really on the very, very basic level. No, had no idea that anything. And I mean, the first episode I put out still today has had about 5,500 views. So it had 800 when I put it out. If that, I don't even know.
What was that episode about?
It was me in a Tesla Roadster and an iMEV saying they probably aren't useless. This might be a difference, and also trying to explain, because the one thing I knew about then, because I'd made a broadcast TV documentary about it, was how the oil industry works and how we don't know as the general public that the amount of energy that's used to produce a gallon of gasoline and the amount of electricity that's used, all those things. So I tried to explain that it doesn't just come out at the top. It has an enormous journey with an enormous impact before you even put it in your car. So that was kind of a big part of it. 5,500 people have watched it.
All right.
You two have a very similar EV history, I think. There's a particular car you guys have both spent a lot of time with.
You had the iMe.
The iMe,
I had the Peugeot Iron Clone.
which is
It's
essentially
the same thing. It's just the iMe and drag. But I put a kitchen in mine. I don't know if we can insert this into the video.
Wow.
I put a functional kitchen in the back. You know how tight the boot
Yes.
running water, fridge, everything. We'll put a picture on the screen.
And a diesel heater as well.
We don't talk about that. That was mission accomplished, that one.
Yeah, no, the heating was never good. I think
No, it wasn't.
I put some shopping in the back of mine. I think that's as near as I got to a kitchen.
Right, yeah.
No, I love that car. And yeah.
This works, yeah?
Yeah. No, it's very
It's
simple.
time, you know?
Yeah.
So one of the big things about the show this time I've noticed is this broadening from being just about electric vehicles to being everything. I mean, it's literally in the name. I mean, how big do you think that is of the electrification process going forward? And do we need to move from being car nerds into being everything nerds?
A sense it is that, and I think it's those simple facts that I never thought about in 40 years of driving combustion cars, was that I would go to all this effort and hassle of getting a car, and then I wouldn't touch it for 95% of the time I had it. It just sat there, a dead asset. And when you then realise that an electric car can be, and it's taken a while, but I did see this quite a while ago, can be used to power something else. So Nissan were really the first people with a Leaf,
CHAdeMO adapter,
the CHAdeMO, and use the CHAdeMO protocol, to power something else. And then you go, so you could use it as your battery at your house. I mean, it's that little step that you might then use that vehicle that you buy 40% of the time you own it, or 50%, which would make a huge difference. Which might mean we need less cars, which would mean we have more room in our cities. All those things about car sharing, how you use our relationship with cars. I think that's the big question that came up for me really early on, as I started to think about what this whole thing was about. So it very rapidly stopped being an electric Top Gear. I think that might have been in the background when I first started it. It was like, I want to do one that's about electric cars, so that I can say Jamie Clarkson's an idiot, which he is. But then it's kind of grown beyond that now.
Yeah.
That's amazing how far. I know I said this last time when I apologise. I poked you and see if you were real. That's right. I've replayed it in my mind 100 times. I'm so sorry.
It's a gentle poke.
It was a there's this real poke. How far your channel's come.
Well,
what you guys have done though.
Basically, since Elliot's joined.
Yeah, basically.
That's what I have to accept.
Right. It's come from lipstick cameras in the car. To Broadway productions. Without the dancing.
It's very high-end production. It is amazing, isn't it? I mean, it has grown, and in the last sort of 5 years, it's really been. If you look at the view counts for the first sort of 7 years, it was barely registered on YouTube's things, but now it's gone like that. So it has.
I think as a creator, once you can afford an editor, you've made it.
Yes.
Yes. Because thank you all the editors of this world. That's the most horrific bit of content creation.
Yeah.
Now, Elliot, to New Zealand, the Chinese market's incredibly important because look, we're not big on our expensive cars. We can't all afford BMWs as much as we love them. How fast do you think the Chinese market is running? I mean, the products out of there just seem to be amazing that we're seeing now.
Yeah, so I actually heard from a CEO of an electric car company who told me that the development time for an EV in China is 8 months. From the CEO saying, I want a sedan, to it being on the market is 8 months.
8 months? Because in European terms, the market I know would be 5 to 7 years.
Yeah.
The British Llewellyn to shame.
Yeah.
I guess the question is that a good or bad thing, though? I mean, sometimes there could be some hit and misses from that, I guess.
Yeah, of course. So, I think the quality thing is largely fixed now. I think the quality of Chinese cars is good. It's on par mostly with legacy automakers. I think that the issue is there's just too many EV manufacturers in China. And what we're seeing now is a lot of them going bankrupt. So there's a car company called Weltmeister. We did one of their first videos for me.
Yeah.
They went bankrupt last year. There's another couple of companies who are looking at bankruptcy right now. I don't want to name them at the moment, but there's so much consolidation. And the issue is that automakers in China are just throwing out these ridiculous things in press releases, like our car has a drone that can follow you. It's like, I don't care.
No,
Like,
no.
I don't need that. But it's all about that, and there needs to be some consolidation.
Right.
Needs to be focused on things like efficiency, sustainable materials, just
Repairability.
repairability,
All those
important things.
Yeah.
And I think that's what's going to happen in the next 18 months to 2 years.
We've just had confirmation that we're about to get Zeekr in New Zealand. Should we be
Yes.
excited about that, Brent?
Not the virus.
Yes, you should be very excited. They're very good cars. They drive exceptionally well, and they offer something different because they're from Geely. Use the same platform as the Volvo. They just offer something a bit different, a bit more quirky, but they're very good drivers' cars. They will probably be quite expensive though.
What do you mean by quirky? Are there any
So
gadgets and things?
on the Zeekr X, that's their kind of small SUV crossover thing. They all are, right? They've got a screen in the front, which you can then move to the passenger side. There's a rail, but on the European version, they don't get that. So it's only on the Chinese version. So
If you get that in New Zealand, I'll be really jealous.
Oh, here's hoping. Now, what are the chances we'll get fully charged or everything electric to New Zealand at some point? I know we're a little market, but we're a very passionate market.
Yeah.
It took Australia a long time to overtake us when it comes to outright EV numbers.
Yeah. No, I know you're.
We get to hop across the Tasman.
I would absolutely love it. It's really down to the team. So, I mean, I've said it before, and it is a sort of boring cliche, but if I organise these shows, there probably would be one in New Zealand, but it would be in a field the wrong side of the North Island, and no one would know it was there, and there was one tent, and it would be raining. So, it's good that I don't organise it, but I'm sure that the team, I think we'd love to do it. And it's how we expand the team it's a really difficult process to grow a company. That's the one thing I've learned doing this and I'm not capable of. So Dan, my partner, who's the CEO of the company, just knows how to run a company, and it is that we can't jump, too much because then you fall over, and so we're on such a delicate balance with budgets. When it's like, that people go, oh my God, you must be making a fortune. We really are not making a fortune, but we're surviving, which is, I think, an incredible achievement.
Well, Gavin, are you ready to audition for be the New Zealand host of their videos?
Not with the joke I said on stage.
If you could open with a joke like that every time, the job's yours.
Look, we were promised 5 minutes. I think we've gone well over that.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for joining
Thank you.
us.
Thanks for coming.
And thank you, Alan.
thank you.
Right, so how was that for you?
I want a drink now. I think I might have a cigarette. I don't smoke.
I think you've got to go and maybe do a wee bit of an acceleration at a cone end. So
Crikey, what time is it?
Yeah.
I've got to go driving the home though.
it's
I've
about
got 3 minutes.
too.
Okay,
Yeah.
it's at the far end of this thing, so I better go.
So look, thank you everyone for joining us. Don't forget to like, subscribe, all those kind of things. It really does help us if you are watching us on a regular basis. And of course, we will put out a bonus episode with a bit of a walk around here in the next couple of days. But we will see you in another couple of weeks on the EV Guys.